And now, here's the breakdown with Justin Hunte.
Interesting point to me because, okay, we're starting to see a number of artists comparing things to where rap has been, right?
Yeah.
We know Drake has been out there a number of times. He's been called out for having co-writers, for working with a number of different writers. For having
called out by
tracks.
you.
I call him out all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
But even like Meek Mill, right? That's how their beef started, right? Because Meek Mill took to Twitter and said Drake doesn't write his stuff. There is I think that we're so used to our rappers coming from hip hop, right? Or our rappers having certain, tenets. Like, hey, you got to be original. Hey, you got to write your own stuff. That stuff is so far gone now. And it's interesting because she basically said, hey, I like this song, Be Careful. It didn't have the hook on it. I like what she's saying. And it's okay because I'm calling out my homie and I'm putting them on too. So, I can just get up here and deliver these raps.
Look, rappers been doing this shit, man. Like Biz Markie, like Big Daddy Kane wrote for his ass.
I don't think rappers were celebrated.
No, they weren't. And like, she's not, to me, she like, if she's not bringing anything else to the table besides, like, even when like Foxy Brown was getting her shit ghost written, like at that time I had less respect for her. I don't have that. I have less respect for Cardi B as an artist than somebody that would write their own shit. Like that's.
I think for a long time it was a secret, right? Like it was, and if it was discovered, it was kind of.
We're so old. You know what I mean? Like these classic albums that came out, cats weren't even born yet. Like they're 20. Like 93 was 24 years ago, bro, or 25 years ago. Like classic albums that laid the groundwork for and helped kick down doors. Like the people that are buying the albums, they weren't even born yet. So like they have a whole different. The way I look at it is like this. It was like the Mongols, like the first generation of Mongols, they were savages, and the second, and then the third. Now we're into like the sixth. They're soft as fuck. You get taken over. That's what rap is. It's like the first and second and third generation, they were savage as fuck, and then now we're into this soft ass fucking. It's cool to have a ghostwriter, and like I accept it. I'm not mad at it, but like I don't respect it. I don't respect you as a fucking rapper.
I feel like
you're a puppet.
I feel like albums need to have two ratings, right? You get your rap rating and then you get your hip hop rating, right? Because there's definitely a difference between rap and hip hop. Like you can be a country artist and rap and still not be hip hop, right? Just the style of delivery, right? This album, Cardi B's album, is really good. It's a really good album, and it's balanced. It's hard, but it's still vulnerable. Stays away from cliches. I feel like on a rap album, just an album that's out, pop album maybe, how we're going to describe it, I'd give it a 4.2. But now we got a rapper who's saying she didn't write her stuff. So to me, on the hip-hop level, it's kind of a 2, maybe a 1.5.
That's what, and I guess that's what I'm saying. But the thing is like, we are we're dinosaurs judging music on merits that no one else is judging it on. Like all they want to do is be able to fucking, is it cool? Can I dance?
Well, the thing I think is interesting is the artists still judge themselves on that. Like Nicki Minaj, 3-4 years ago, would go around and every except award speech, she would reinforce how she was writing her own stuff. You saw Meek Mill call out Drake because Drake wasn't. So the assumption is that Meek Mill does. Like artists still kind of within the space,
because
consider certain things.
Like you a paper champ. You might be caking up. You might even be making fucking hits, but you a fucking paper champ.
Everybody knows who's juicing, right?
Yeah, dog. Like that's it. Like it's you are not creating content. You are fucking doing what you're a puppet, and that's cool. Like I'm not mad at it, but it's like me and transgenders. It's like, yeah, you can be whatever the fuck you want, but deep down we all know what the fuck it is. Call it what you want. I'll piss wherever you want to piss. I don't give a fuck. Don't change the chromosomes. Like that shit don't change what the fuck. Like, yo, dude, like if you're not writing your own raps or making the beats for it at least. Like I even understand when producers want to start rapping and they get ghostwriters. I'm not mad at that. You're bringing something to the table.
Right.
I guess what one can say that they're bringing to the table is voice.
Yes, performance.
Voice, performance, and like all this,
social media. With Cardi, personality. Like she spills personality.
Yeah, she's oozing with it.
Oozing.
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
So it's like, let's figure out what to do with her. Boom, she's a goddamn rapper.
Right.
Blow her the fuck up.
Well, they just did the same thing.
They did it with the How About That girl. Like,
yeah, exactly. Bad Baby, Cash Me Outside girl. She did an interview with HipHopDX. She stated a quote. She said, after I went on the show, I had all these people hitting me up. They said, hey, do you like rap music? I said, yeah. They said, okay, well, we think you can be something. You sound good.
There you go.
That's what it is. Now, I don't tend to have a problem with ghostwriters in any context, really, as long as they're not walking around saying that they're the greatest. I don't want like the fakest people on the planet in any medium, any genre, saying that they're the greatest. I personally think Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player ever, right? And a lot of that has to do with who he was before he started juicing or before his body looked like it started juicing. So I can say that, you know what I mean? I can feel that. But I don't like baseball. So I don't care who's juicing in baseball. I don't care. I know my favorite era of baseball was when everybody was on steroids. So to me, Barry Bonds is the greatest. But that does not mean that my opinion should be held to a higher standard than those who really are
give a
in
fuck
the sport.
about baseball. Yeah. And that's kind of what you're saying with rap. Look, man, what about the argument that ghostwriters actually help things because you're putting out the best product possible for the consumer?
I think that's great too. I think that's especially when it comes to the validity of the music industry, right? And especially the best distinction I was given was by Sci-Hi the Prince, and he said that, look, there's a different level. Sometimes you're making a song or a project that's just for the culture, for your people, or for people who really care. But if you're really trying to compete on a broad level, if you're trying to rack up Grammys, you're trying to go on world tours, you're now up against the Beyoncés, the Katy Perrys, the Adeles, and these people have major teams that are helping them style and craft everything that's around them. It's very difficult for somebody to take their pen, drop some raps over some beats, and be able to compete on that level. So in that case, in that situation, ghostwriters help to craft the broader narrative. Bringing in instruments and all these super producers help to bring the album together so that it can be viewed on a more massive level.
Look,
I
man,
respect that.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I respect it. It is what it is. It's business. It's the business of music.
As long as they're not saying they're the greatest, I'm all right with it. And Cardi so far has stayed away from it. She said this to GQ. She said this weekend. I just want to make music and be rich. In order to be the queen of rap, you have to live up to certain expectations. You have to have a certain expectation of lyrics. I do music that makes me feel happy and I want to bounce to, that I like and that I like and love, so I really don't care about stuff like that.
Well, look,
I'm not
man,
mad at that.
and let's be fair. Like Biggie wrote Lil Kim, a lot of Lil Kim shit. Fucking Foxy had a lot of ghostwriters. Like there's been a trend of women rappers that made it big. I think that's why old girl kept saying, I write my own shit. Like it was important for her to say that. To Latifah did too, I'm guessing. But MC Lyte, like you have to go way back. Like there was a run where it was like
Roxanne Shante, Roxanne's out right now on Netflix.
So really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
You gotta check that out. It's good.
All right,
it's
bet.
good. They got Lil Nas in there. He's like 10.
So yeah, like I'm not mad, but they're just products at this point.
I think the ghostwriters need to start getting props too, though. Like at least she's shouting out her co-writers. You know what I mean?
As long as they're getting paid on the end, like, you know what I mean? And the industry knows who the fuck they are.
I would love to see a ranking of like the greatest ghostwriters of all time. Co-writers, whatever we're calling them. That to me is kind of interesting.
I like the way that they changed the fucking, they change it, co-writer. Like, yeah, okay, co-writer.
Right, exactly.
All right.
But Rhapsody, for example, she was nominated for a Grammy last year.
Yeah.
She is with Jamla through Rock Nation, and she was nominated for a project. She writes her own raps, you know, like it's not something that I don't think she wears it like a badge of honor, but she hasn't reached like the pop status to where most people might have heard it, but within the space and the culture.
Look, man, to be successful in rap nowadays, you got to be able to make a good pop song. You know what I mean? Like these songs are structured closer to pop songs. That's just the way it goes. Luckily, people's ears have been trained. It's like you're seeing this merge where like people's ears have been trained to respond to rap music better now than fucking 20 years ago.
Everyone knows the theme song to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And you got that, and then you have rappers embracing the structure of pop music and actually, chorus heavy, very chorus heavy, fucking chants. It's like they're making pop songs.
Right. Exactly.
Which is fucking awesome because you don't even have to know how to sing.
Well, we have an interesting quote from TDE President Punch, and he wrote an article about Cardi B for DJ Booth. You want to talk about that now? Or do you want to?
Yeah. Let's talk about it real quick. You said this is the one, and this is where I got a problem. Like right here. What's the title?
The title of the article is Cardi B Is Tupac. This is TDE President Punch. So this is a certified, person in the industry, carries a lot of respect. TDE put out Kendrick Lamar, Schoolboy Q.
I know. It's look, okay.
So this all stemmed from a tweet that he put out over the weekend saying Cardi B is Tupac. Cardi B she compares herself to Biggie and Tupac on the album. And this is a picture of it. You want to take a look at it, Jude. And so he prefaces his points as to why that's the case.
Give them to me quick. What are the fucking points? How is she Pac?
All right. Well, he says they both have a combination of passion, content, delivery, and honesty. He says, I won't pretend to know as much about Cardi as I do about Tupac, but from what I do know, she embodies some of those same qualities. She's a straight shooter, right from the hip. Her interviews are as raw as her music. She's politically incorrect, yet her charisma means you cannot stop watching and listening, whether you agree or disagree. She says exactly what she's feeling at the same time. She said exactly what she's feeling, and I believe her. His next point. Pac represents...
That's Ghostface Killer too. Like Cardi B's Ghostface Killer. Cardi B's a gang of motherfuckers. Like Pac doesn't have the market cornered in that, by the way. Keep going.
Pac represented the have-nots as a whole. Cardi represents a particular section of the have-nots, which only will continue to grow if she keeps going. Cardi also has a cadence...
That's rappers.
Cardi also has a cadence and flow that's similar to Pac's. She emphasizes and elongates words to stress points for impact, like making money moves, don't get comfortable.
You mean she fucking is derivative of Tupac? All right, keep going.
Obviously, Cardi B is Pac is a metaphor, but Cardi is one album into her career. Of course, she can't compare with his body of work. He makes that preface. Pac came from a revolutionary background. Of course, there's no comparison when it comes to social impact. I'm not saying she's the heir apparent or that she's the second coming, but Cardi B does embody a lot of Pac's best qualities, and his DNA is in her blood.
I'm tired of everybody fucking getting attention by dropping Tupac's name. Cardi B's not Tupac. Tupac wrote his own shit, and Tupac has a fucking body of work that is like don't call anybody. And to be fair, it's like it almost cheapens Tupac to compare Cardi B to them. And TDE's is Kendrick Lamar is pushing to be fucking the best rapper ever. So it almost cheapens Tupac to compare Tupac to Cardi B's Kendrick Lamar then, right? Kendrick Lamar has his own way of Kendrick Lamar checks off every one of those boxes that fucking he just said.
I think that if we're basing it strictly on the music, it's not a conversation at all. One thing that I think resonates in a very organic way with Pac and with Cardi, that is separate to Kendrick, that is separate than Ghostface Killer with a lot of people, is how people feel connected to them as individuals, right? Pac was one of the first artists that we saw consistently in the media spitting on reporters. We saw him get arrested. We saw him when he was dirty and bumming. We saw him when he was rich and successful. People who follow Cardi B, who watch her on the gram, who watch all of her social media stuff, remember when she was a stripper on Love and Hip Hop and before that, and now see her getting her teeth fixed and express how she was kind of shook when she had messed up teeth and people used to make fun of her, but now she's balling. They have that similar kind of connection with Pac, which isn't something I think is as common as it may seem.
Here, the whole thing about being vulnerable and all that shit, like, it's one thing to be vulnerable when you're writing your own shit. It's another thing to be vulnerable when your writer is writing your vulnerable shit.
Is there a correlation away from the music that, like, hey, you know, like some people are super polished on Instagram. Like, we never see Beyonce bumming, right? I can't tell you last time I saw Beyonce's real hair.
The other thing is Pac really, the genius behind Pac was that he would write a song for. He was able to write on so many different levels. I'm not familiar with Cardi B's body of work, but like Pac would say something revolutionary. He had very strong political beliefs. He had songs for the ladies. He had songs for moms. He had songs for hood dudes without being all the way fucking hood, like Death Around the Corner and Outlaw, shit like that. And I think that was one of, and then the Pac fucking gave, like, you know, No Vaseline and fucking No Vaseline was like the ill diss song, and then Pac turned it up one notch and just really showed motherfuckers what the craziest diss record ever was at the time. Like, that was like the best diss record ever. Like, that's why I fucked your bitch. You fat. Like, he came out the gates with that shit. Like, chill out. Look, every time someone fucking brings up Tupac, me and you end up talking about this shit.
But this one I think is different than, like, because Punch is not dissing Pac by any means. And I don't think he recognizes the obvious, right? You can't sit here and compare someone with an album.
If I did a bunch of shit that was awesome and came up with this fucking awesome shit that paved the way for everybody and helped fucking spread rap to everyone and fucking served time and came back out, and then some ex-stripper that just fucking comes along and has ghostwriters, and then somebody's like, he's the next blah blah blah. I'd be like, no, they're the fuck not the next me. I don't think Pac is looking down from heaven like, yeah, I co-signed that fucking, yeah, totally. And to be fair, like, that shit, I can name 5 other rappers off the top of my head that fit into that category with distinct flows and charisma and represents broke people. That's kind of what original rap was. Not to sound like a fucking snob here.
Well, we're talking about generational stuff, though, right? I think that's the point of where this article is coming from, for what it represents to this era, to this generation. The music in this generation isn't the product. It is just another marketing material to let people know that you are someone they need to follow on social so you can get your sponsorship dollars up.
All right, man. A gang of people want to talk on this. Let's play a song. Come back. 888-742-3345. Justin Hunte. Right. Shit. Shout out to Punch. He's actually listening. He said I missed the point. He might call in. 888-742-3345. Mel Blunt from OK Player.
What's up, fellas?
What up, though?
Yeah, y'all covering a lot. Thanks for having me on. I want to touch on 3 things. All right, the ghostwriting. I want to touch on the instant gratification of today's artists, and I want to touch on the damn Tupac comparisons. Ghostwriting, okay, not a problem if you're just playing your position, but if you're going to say you're a great, like Drake was trying to do, and go toe-to-toe with Jay and trade barbs and subliminals, dog, you can't call yourself great.
What about if your ghostwriter compares you to Pac and Big? Like, because in a way, like, that is saying that you're the best.
If your ghostwriter compares you?
No, in your rap, like your raps, you're comparing yourself to the best.
I don't know if I follow you, Jude.
Cardi B is comparing herself to Biggie and Pac in the song. Is that correct?
She's
Justin?
comparing herself. No, I mean that's braggadocio. Hip hop has always had that.
Okay.
You gotta talk yourself up.
That's definitely It's
It's
not the theme of the song.
Okay. All right. There you go.
But I will knock somebody comparing her to Tupac. I'm sorry, dog. There's no comparison. And then we were just talking about this last week, right? Everybody was trying to get buzzed by dissing Pac, and we were saying, how can you diss somebody who can't come back at you? You're going to diss a dead person that can't respond. Now we got people trying to get cosigns from dead legends, man. They trying to cosign, get a real cosign from somebody established that's out there, that's alive. Get a real, where your cosigns from anybody bona fide? Give me one. Have y'all heard any?
No. And
putting her up there on this great pedestal. Any greats gave her props?
Yeah, a lot of greats gave Cardi B props. Diddy gave her props.
Diddy?
Diddy gave her props.
Oh my
Everybody, he was
Diddy,
jamming.
man, he always trying to ride the hot thing, man.
He really is.
Man, is Nicki and Rick for a minute.
I consider Game a great. Game was on the gram shouting out how great this project is.
Look, man. Here's the other thing. Like, I think Punch's points are all valid. I just think it's a spur. To jump to that conclusion, there's some things that she's lacking that would. Like there's a lot of things that I have in common with a giraffe. I got lungs, I got a heart, I got a neck, but there's some big things that are lacking that don't make me a fucking giraffe. And I think I feel like there's certain things that she's lacking that does not make her Tupac. That's all. That is my opinion.
Putting the work in. Then we're going to go with the instant gratification. People, that's the reason they're doing all these comparisons to the legends. I mean, especially the dead legends. They don't want to put the work in. You have to have a body of work. It's a natural progression to be the top.
See, the body of work thing.
Top and you get it stamped at the top. It's a natural progression. So they don't want to put the work in. So they're trying to get this instant gratification. I mean, she was compared to Lauryn Hill. I heard people comparing her. I'm like, now, any female that can carry an auto-tune gets compared to Lauryn Hill?
The body of work thing that's a relatively new thing.
I agree with the body of work shit. That's where me and Justin disagree.
Biggie was king of New York on his one album. He had some underground mixtape tracks. He had some freestyle ciphers that nobody on a broad spectrum really saw. But when Ready to Die dropped, it was okay for Biggie to be Frank White. No one was like, well, where's your other 5 albums? Kane got 3 already. Where's your 3?
Even if you look at this, like time is shown that like no one's saying someone's better than Biggie. No one's bringing up Biggie. They're bringing up Pac for us to talk about.
Right.
So
exactly.
It's kind of self-evident that Pac is the greatest because they keep bringing up Pac.
It's anecdotal.
That's not anecdotal.
It's anecdotal. It's self-evident because other people, because the journalists are asking questions and Pac's name comes up.
No one's dropping Biggie's name to shit on him.
Exactly. And like you said, Jude, like if you want to compare like features of artists, you could compare those to the whole hip hop genre. Like you said, the whole bona fide hip hop genre. And this instant gratification. And look at in the NBA. When they ask Jordan who's the best between Kobe and LeBron, he'll tell you in a minute 5 is greater than 3. You know why? Because he saw Magic Johnson's 5 rings. He went out and got 6. So he like, meet me there. You could be a dunk contest champion. Yeah, you can score 60 points. But until you get those 6 rings, dog, you can't be in the conversation with Magic, Kobe, and Jordan. I'm sorry.
Here's a headline.
LeBron has a lot of great stats. Until you get 5 rings, dog, you have not surpassed Kobe. And it's the same thing in hip-hop. I mean, hip-hop used to be a come-up. I mean, look at Jay. He beat Jizza in a battle. He battled Buster. He beat Kane in a battle. You had to earn your stripes, dog.
You just don't have to.
You don't have that anymore. You had to earn your stripes. You don't just call yourself, or you don't just have somebody else randomly call you something, and then you ride with that title. You got to earn that shit, man.
Well, I don't think she's riding. I don't think she's calling herself
hip-hop needs a savior right now. I mean, hip-hop, and like you said, Jude, the music industry is pumping itself up. They need a savior. They don't care who it is.
Kendrick's doing an incredible job. I will say that. Kendrick's doing an incredible job. Kendrick Lamar's doing an incredible job.
He's bona fide. He's earned it. And then even when you say Biggie.
Yeah, and to be fair, Kendrick's been at it for a minute.
For a very long time. He's earned it.
Whole album top to bottom, where your shit is like that. He had an incredible production team. One of the most incredible production teams of modern-day hip-hop. So everything was banging, and he had the lyrics. So, I mean, when you come out like that, and he did a million guest, that was the other part. You had to do a million guest spots. to come up. Just look at DMX when he was making his run. He did a million guest spots.
Cardi's done a lot of guest spots, man.
Alongside the heavy hitters.
Look, man,
That's one thing she has done.
All right, man. All right.
Real
Thank
quick,
you,
Jude. Lil Yachty did this Biggie, called him overrated.
Oh, there you go.
He apologized later.
He apologized, right? That's funny. Let's go to look, man. I don't want to come off like the old dude to get off my lawn shit, but I do I just give more credit to motherfuckers that write their shit, dude. That's like I don't think that's that big of a deal. El Chapo.
Yeah, what up, Jude?
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I just want to say, I mean, to this day, I'm 33. I still jam Illmatic, The Chronic, the old shit. In 2043, I'm probably not going to be listening to Cardi B. I'm probably not going to listen to Drake. And I fuck with it right now, but it's just not that good. Like you said, it's just not going to stand the test of time.
How do you know that?
We don't know. We will see in 10 years. Like let's holler at we'll talk in 10 years.
But like you said, it's not the classic stuff. It's not that great. I mean, it's kind of disposable. It's kind of cool right now, and you can kind of dance to it.
It's not like people are asking to hear Tipsy anymore. You know what I mean? It's kind
This ain't Tipsy, though.
I'm just saying.
Like, that's a false equivalent. No one's asking for Skilo either.
Yeah, nobody's asking to listen to Coolio no more. I mean, it just don't stand the test of time like Pac did, Biggie did.
We'll see.
Nas, all great.
Time will tell. That we don't know. Time will tell. So I'm not gonna dismiss anything. Time will tell. Like that's the fairest thing to say. Let's Daniel.
Hey, what's up, Jude?
What up, though?
Everything's good, man. Long time listener, first time caller. I just want to give you and Justin, props. You guys got great conversations, debates, and I know there's a lot of people out there like me, that appreciate both you guys.
All right, thanks, bro. What's up? What you want to say?
I just wanted to Justin's point, he was saying, basically, as far as Cardi B and, having a ghostwriter or whatever. But, before he started that conversation, you guys were saying that, and I think you asked the question, Jude. You were saying, can we now say that rap is pop music? And Justin was like, yeah, rap is definitely pop music. So if rap is pop music and, 99% of pop artists at the beginning of time had ghostwriters or didn't even write at all, what's wrong with Cardi B if she's a pop artist?
Nothing.
Because she's rap.
What's
wrong with her having ghostwriters?
I don't find anything wrong with her having ghostwriters. I just don't think she is a good rapper in the classic definition of being a rapper, as in writing your own raps.
I just don't. I think that there's a different. I think that there's a different level of respect and talent that goes into creating a song, an idea, writing it, and being able to deliver it and perform it versus someone else giving you the script and you can.
I agree. And here's and to another point, I also think that pop music has gotten shittier. Like, I feel like all music has regressed. Right. So, like, my pop music was Prince. One of the best guitarists ever. That he was so good at songwriting that they didn't even bring up that he was one of the best guitarists ever. Your pop music is this shit. So fucking have fun with it. That's all. Like, that's. Why are you shaking your head, Jess?
I just feel like there's more metrics that go into play now, right? Like there was a mystique around being a superstar before. You can't be mysterious and grow your audience now. Like you have to be talented in other things. You have to have ill social media campaigns. You have to be willing to show your fake teeth on the gram or your bunions on Snap or whatever.
No, you're
these
right.
These are things that Prince never had to do. Prince could just sit at home and just work on music on his own. You could be Prince right now, and if Prince don't have enough followers, Prince ain't getting a deal.
Here's the deal. Well, Prince did blow up post his movie, so he was able to cross over in other media genres to do it. But I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I got one more point too.
Go ahead.
As far as the last caller, he was saying that Cardi B, like he was saying, he's still listening to Illmatic and stuff like that, and Cardi B won't be around 10 years from now. He may be right. You know what I mean? Because I don't even hear Kodak Black or whatever that's Bodak Yellow on the radio anymore. And then the song that she got with that other dude, and all I listen is to Shade 45 and serious stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't listen to regular radio, so I don't know what's playing. But a lot of her songs, if it's not featuring Amigos or if she ain't on somebody else's stuff, I don't even really hear her stuff being played like that.
As of January 21st, Kodak Black is still in jail. So that's probably why you haven't
I'm
heard
sorry,
very
not
much.
Not Kodak Black, Bodak Yellow. That Bodak Yellow song.
We got the whole album out now.
Well, there you go. Like, look, man, I'm not. Hey, I'm. People like it, they like it. What the fuck am I gonna do? I'm just saying, like, she's not Rakim. Robbie.
Hey, man, what's going on, Jude?
Go ahead, bro.
First of all, the TDE Punch guy, respect to what he's done and the work and all that, but I think the article was just to fucking get someone to read the shit. It's like posting something on Instagram or whatever to get followers, to get likes. Because, like, you were talking about it right now, and it's bullshit. There's no way she's like Pac. I will agree with what Justin or whatever was saying about she's, like, really comparable to, like, the average person. Like, oh, you saw her in poor, you saw her in rich. You know what I mean? But, I mean, otherwise.
She's relatable.
Like, yeah, exactly. Relatable. That part's cool. And then she happened to be that popular to get there. But you can't compare to fucking Pac. Now, at the same time, the one dude talk about Illmatic, this and that. You know, back in the day, I'm 27. I mean, I'm born in 89. I love that back in the day shit. But, like, you're going to like what the fuck you grew up to. You're going to like the fuck things that you had the best memories to and all that. So
yeah.
The kids nowadays, maybe this is going to be their shit. And back then, you know, what you had so many TV shows, right? Everyone watched The Simpsons. Nowadays, you have YouTube, you have 1,000,000,001 channels. So, like, you're not going to have the classics like they were because back then you only had so many classics that was available. You know, you didn't have the internet at the grasp of your hands on Spotify. Look at a million things. You know what I mean? So, like,
that's interesting.
That's another thing you got to take into account. But as far as rappers, I like Cardi B. She's cool. But, I mean, absolutely, I think real lyricists need more fucking like spotlights. I think these hip hop award shows, all these fucking people talking real, the culture, you know.
Here's the deal. Like, the market dictates what the fuck goes. Nobody wants real lyricists. Like, if they did, there'd be more lyricists blowing the fuck up.
I think it just takes.
Tell me about it. No,
I disagree with that.
They got some props though. I wish the same people talking about we're doing it for the culture.
I disagree with that. I think that if you look at who sells albums, it's the lyricists. The non-lyricists
Kendrick,
don't sell albums.
Lyricist. J. Cole, lyricist. Now, who else is a...
Chance the Rapper is a lyricist. Meek Mill's a lyricist. He sold 250,000 before he broke out his Twitter fingers.
Migos, lyricist.
Definitely. I give him that. Have you listened to Migos?
I'm just throwing out... I don't even know.
Migos definitely lyricist. Okay, I couldn't tell if you were looking at me like you were... being ironic.
I don't know.
If you were really asking. Yeah, I put him in the lyricist category. These are the guys who actually break through. So if we're talking about people who just blow up, get a look, get a song, and go away, well, that was supposed to be Cardi B, right? Now, Cardi B got a lot of help. She got ghostwriters, but it also takes, for her to even get to that point, it took a little bit more of herself, her personality, and the way people relate to her to get to that point.
All right. We're doing all that Tupac comparison. We didn't have no women weighing in on this.
Oh, no, you do.
Waiter, there you go.
Yes.
We're going to end with you. We're going to end with you. Get a lady's perspective. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, from the female perspective, don't get me wrong. I like Cardi B. More power to her. But to compare her to Tupac, you're putting in too much. You're stepping over your bounds. Don't get me wrong. She's all right. But, like you said, she ghostwrites. Tupac wrote his own stuff. You cannot compare the two. That's like apples and oranges. Again, she's getting in all this notoriety and everything because of her being on YouTube, her doing all these social media events, Love and Hip Hop, and all this stuff. Now, let's say Tupac was living. We wouldn't probably even be having this conversation for real, because on Real Talk, he would have, her thought process, it wouldn't even be there right now. But he's not here, but to compare the two, that's legendary. She just starting out, coming up. And yes, she may not be playing in the next 10 years because we moved on to something else. But again, I won't take nothing from her, but to compare the Tupac, that's a no-go. That's a no-go.
All right. Speaking of Pac, Machiavelli notes.
Machiavelli liner notes. So,
ooh, buddy.
I did not even know these were out there.
Let's play a song and come back. He's going in on a lot of people.
He's going in on the original Machiavelli liner notes.
I cannot wait to hear. Can't fucking wait. Pac, Machiavelli liner notes. Don't go anywhere.